Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? Today we're getting into the world of Wrightia antidysenterica, also known as snowflake, Arctic snow.
Oh, an Asian snow jasmine.
Right, but we'll get to why that last name is a little tricky soon. This deep dive is inspired by a blog post from kyeonmeng.org.
Notes on gardening.
Yes. The author actually thought this plant was jasmine at first.
Very common mistake.
Yeah, happens all the time. We'll be looking at part 458. The title is, get this, maybe we should explore Wrightia antidysenterica. So the author saw this plant, thought it was jasmine, and they've been wanting to grow jasmine.
Makes sense.
But the more they looked at this plant, the more they realized something just wasn't adding up.
Definitely. Sounds like the author had to put on their detective hat and really investigate.
That's a great way to put it. They actually found out that true jasmine is part of the Jasminum genus.
Completely different group of plants from Wrightia antidysenterica.
So it's not just a little mix-up. These plants are totally different at the core. I'm curious, though, how did they finally figure it out? The author mentioned that pictures online weren't really helpful for telling them apart.
Oh, telling similar-looking plants apart from just images, that can be a real challenge. The author actually found the key while using an AI chatbot. It mentioned that Wrightia antidysenterica has...
Right, an AI chatbot? That's cool.
Right. It pointed out that this plant has milky sap when you cut it. True jasmine doesn't.
Ah, so it's all about the milky sap. I'll have to remember that. The author mentioned they'd seen this plant before.
And even thought about growing it.
Yeah. Maybe this whole mix-up made them even more interested in it.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need a little confusion to spark a real passion, and this highlights a really important point. Knowing how to ID your plants really matters. It's not just about getting the name right. It's...
Yeah, I can see how it's more than just semantics.
Exactly.
What kind of problems can pop up if we misidentify a plant, though?
Well, think about it. Imagine you're trying to care for a plant, thinking it's jasmine,
Oh,
but it's actually...
Wrightia antidysenterica.
Right. You might give it the wrong soil.
The wrong amount of water.
Too much sun, not enough sun.
It'd be
You're basically following the wrong care instructions.
like using a recipe for bread when you're trying to bake a cake.
Perfect analogy. And it's not just about care. Some plants can be toxic.
Oh, right, for people or animals.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
you could accidentally put yourself or your pet in danger if you misidentify a poisonous plant. And every plant has its own unique properties. Some have medicinal uses, some thrive in specific climates.
So by properly identifying a plant, we can really understand it and appreciate all its different qualities.
You got it. It's not just a jasmine imposter, it's Wrightia antidysenterica. And that means something. It has its own value.
I like that. Makes this deep dive even more interesting, going beyond just the mistaken identity to see what makes this plant special. The blog mentions some other names for this plant too. Snowflake,
Arctic snow.
and even Asian snow jasmine, which I guess brings us right back to the confusion.
Common names can be tricky like that. They're poetic and descriptive, but they can also be really misleading.
I see your point. Better to stick with the scientific name when you need to be accurate. So no matter how many nicknames it has, this plant is still Wrightia antidysenterica,
100%.
not like a secret identity in the plant world. But now we know its true name, so we can really start to uncover its story.
And remember how the author was considering growing it? Well, there's a reason for that. This plant actually has a history of medicinal use.
Whoa, wait, medicinal. Now I'm really curious. What do you mean?
Well, like the name antidysenterica suggests, it's been used to treat dysentery.
So not just a pretty plant, but a powerful one too. Okay, so people actually used this plant, Wrightia antidysenterica, to treat illnesses. How did they even figure that out?
It's really amazing when you think about it. It really shows the long history between people and plants. Thousands of years of people watching and testing plants and passing that knowledge down. Specifically for Wrightia antidysenterica, they mostly used the bark and the leaves. They would boil them to make a really strong extract.
Like a super potent tea.
Yeah, you could think of it that way. And they use those extracts for a bunch of stuff, especially problems with digestion, like dysentery.
Right, which is where it gets that unique name from. But what about today? Have scientists actually studied any of this?
There's been some research, though not as much as for some other medicinal plants. They've found a lot of different compounds in Wrightia antidysenterica.
Compounds.
Yeah, like alkaloids and flavonoids.
Yeah.
And some of those have been shown to have antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties.
At least in the lab, right.
Right, exactly. So there's some evidence to support those traditional uses. It wasn't just folklore. There might be real science behind it.
That's really cool. But I guess it's still early days for the research.
Oh yeah, for sure. We need a lot more studies, especially ones that actually involve people.
Clinical trials.
Yes. To really confirm if using Wrightia antidysenterica for medicine is actually effective and safe.
Makes sense. It's easy to get excited about a plant that could have healing power, but we need to be careful.
Absolutely. We should wait for more solid scientific proof before we start making any big claims.
Good point. But still, it's really neat that scientists are even looking into this. It shows that plants, even ones we might mistake for something else at first, can have a lot to teach us.
100%. It also underlines why protecting all kinds of plant life is so important. There could be tons of plants out there with medicinal properties that we don't even know about yet.
You've got me thinking about all these hidden plant powerhouses just waiting to be discovered. This deep dive has been a great reminder that there's always more to learn, even about something as basic as correctly identifying a plant.
And thinking about identification, let's circle back to that milky sap test. It's a super helpful way to tell Wrightia antidysenterica apart from true jasmine, but it also brings up a bigger point about identifying plants. It's not always about what you see. Sometimes you need to use other senses too.
That's interesting. I guess I usually just rely on how a plant looks. What other senses can we use?
Well, smell's a big one. So many plants have unique scents, sometimes good.
Sometimes not so good.
Exactly. And touch can be helpful too. The texture of leaves can tell you a lot. Some are smooth, some fuzzy, some rough.
And some have thorns.
Right. And you can even use taste.
Wait, taste?
Yeah, but I wouldn't suggest going around tasting random plants.
Definitely not.
It's best to leave that to the experts. Some plants can be really dangerous to eat.
You're right. Safety first. So it's great to engage our senses when we're exploring plants, but we need to be responsible about it. Speaking of experts, didn't we talk about some resources for plant identification earlier?
We did. Remember, if you're ever unsure about a plant, you can always reach out to people who know. Your local gardening club,
Botanical gardens.
plant societies.
There are online forums and even hotlines.
It's really impressive how many resources are out there for plant lovers. It's like a whole community dedicated to appreciating and understanding the world of plants.
It's a nice thought, all these people coming together to learn and share knowledge. Which brings us right back to that blog post. The author shared their experience, all the confusion, and then that spark of interest they felt about Wrightia antidysenterica. And that's led us to this whole conversation. I love how one blog post about a case of mistaken identity has spiraled into all this. We've talked about identification, medicinal uses, scientific studies, and even how we can use our senses to learn more about plants.
And it just goes to show how a little bit of curiosity can really lead to a whole world of learning.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I just feel this sense of wonder. And I have a new appreciation for how complex and beautiful plants really are.
And maybe a little bit of curiosity about what other mysteries are out there in the plant world.
Oh, that reminds me, we haven't talked about the name Wrightia yet. Where did that come from?
Great question.
Hmm.
And it takes us to another fascinating layer in the story of this plant. It's named after William Wright.
William Wright.
Yeah, he was a Scottish doctor and botanist who lived way back in the 1700s.
So the genus is named after a pioneer in the field of botany. That makes the name even cooler.
I agree. And it reminds us that there's often a whole story behind a scientific name. In this case, it's a story that connects a Scottish doctor to a plant in Asia, to the traditional medicine that used it for centuries, and finally, to what we know about it today.
That's really incredible. It's amazing to think how one plant's name can have such a rich history. It's almost like a connection to the past and how human curiosity and exploration never really stop.
I like that. It really shows how everything's connected in nature. A doctor from Scotland, a plant from Asia, and even our conversation right now. It's all part of the same story of discovery.
It's been an amazing journey, that's for sure. We started with a simple blog post about misidentifying a plant, and now we've learned so much about Wrightia antidysenterica, its unique features, how people have used it as medicine for centuries.
And the science behind it. We've even talked about the story behind its name.
It's a great reminder that getting a plant's ID right is just the first step. It opens up a whole new world of understanding and appreciation for the natural world.
Exactly. And maybe it even helps us see those hidden connections and inspires us to keep exploring.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you all with this thought. The next time you see a plant, take a moment to really appreciate it. Don't just look at it, think about it. What's its name? Where does it come from? What's it used for? Are there any cool hidden features that make it special?
And never stop being curious.
Yeah.
If you're not sure about something, ask questions. Talk to experts. Go on your own plant adventures.
You never know what amazing things you might find. Happy exploring, everyone.